Hello everyone. Welcome to Coffee, Love, and Books. I'm Michelle, and today I will be discussing the top 5 reasons why you should watch Avatar The Last Airbender. So I know Avatar is an insanely popular show, and I probably shouldn't have to make this video, but there are multiple people very close to me who absolutely refuse to watch it because either it's anime or they just aren't interested in it, it's a kid's show, all these things, and I get it, I understand. I didn't know about Avatar until this past summer, this year, and when I found out it was on Netflix, I was like, oh, I want to watch this. I wasn't like, oh, I need to watch this show, but when I started watching it, I was just blown away. Not at first. At first, in the first season, I was like, this is okay. And then season 1 finale, I was just like, I love this show. And it's just been spiraling from there. So today I want to discuss the top 5 reasons why I think you should watch it. Number 5, the visuals. Oh my goodness. The visuals are just beautiful, and I'm about to rewatch the show. On my rewatch, I'm going to focus more on the visuals because I think it was one of the finale episodes where I was looking at this animation. I'm just like, that is beautiful. I noticed it before, but just I hadn't paid special attention to how absolutely gorgeous the animation is. Oh my word. This show has the most beautiful, the characters are just amazingly animated. The elements are just gorgeous. The places, oh my goodness. And the sky, it's just so amazing, so beautiful. There's so much attention to detail in the animation, and it's beautiful, and I love it so much. The plot. The plot is very straightforward. It's something that you kind of would expect from a kid's show, but this plot is just so, I love it so much. It has just that beautiful element to it where you get to see these characters grow through the plot and how many twists and turns come through the otherwise very straightforward, understandable plot. And the plot is just so powerful and amazing, and seeing kids go through this kind of thing is just the best. And just seeing Aang learn all these elements and having to fight for them, and because so many people depend on him doing it, it just is amazing. And the plot's great, and I want to say more about plot, but that would kind of I want to talk more about it in the characters section because the plot and characters come hand in hand so much. Hi there, editing Michelle coming in because I realized that with all my raving about how wonderful the plot is, I didn't actually describe the plot. So if you don't know the plot of Avatar, here you are. Our story follows 3 main characters named Sokka, Aang, and Katara. Sokka and Katara find Aang, and they realize that he is the Avatar who has been lost for 100 years since the Fire Nation took over. So this 12-year-old boy and his friends go off, and they are trying to master the 4 elements. Well, they can't because they're not the Avatar. Basically, there are 4 types of bending: fire bending, water bending, earth bending, and air bending. And Aang, because the title, is the last airbender, and he has to master the other 3 and defeat the Fire Lord. Stakes are added throughout the show, but that's the basics of it. I absolutely love the show because the plot, while it seems so simple, it ends up being so well executed, and it's just wonderful. So, coming in at number 3 is the setting, which is somewhat related to animation because the setting is beautiful, but The setting I'm talking about is this world where there are 4 nations. The Fire Nation is taking over the other 3, and like this beautiful, amazing world where you can see easily a kid coming in and the plot happening. Like, this setting is incredible, where you get to see the Fire Kingdom taking over all of the other areas and people resisting. You see towns that have given up hope who just are done, and you see our main characters coming in to bring up new hope. And the setting is just so impactful on our protagonists and even our antagonists, and you get to see how the places where these kids have grown up has turned them into who they are. So the setting is extremely powerful and extremely important to Avatar and its amazingness. It was executed so powerfully and so amazingly, and it raised the stakes so much, and it was incredible. So number 2 is theme, and I just remembered that point before I started filming. The themes in this show are amazing. Just seeing these characters grapple with the hardest things for like these young kids, preteens through like young teenagers, seeing them have to grapple with things like killing and loss and keeping your name pure and good. Seeing Aang, who comes from such a different mindset from Katara and Sokka, seeing him have to grapple with the idea of war and having to be a warrior. And then he comes from the Air Nation, which is very peaceful and passive, and it just was incredible. It was so good, especially for a kid's show, to get to see meaning come out of this beautiful, amazing story. But without the theme, this story wouldn't be what it is. Like, seeing it's very much a coming of age story, especially for Aang. Seeing Aang develop through and try to understand what his calling is and what he has to do versus what he wants to do. Just the themes of friendship, loyalty, choosing the good over evil, and just all that's in between. Trust, everything. If I had more time to think of themes, I could, because the show is packed full of them and I love it so much. And it was so, like, even as an older person, it was so, like, it was such a good lesson and amazing. Alright, and number 1, you're probably not surprised by this because I've been holding myself back the entire video, but number 1 is characters. Oh my word. These characters, I tried to think of my favorite just amongst the core 3, and I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't. I love them all so much. And the way they develop over this show is incredible. The way our main antagonist, Zuko, develops in the show, but seeing everyone, all these characters, being just so affected by all the previous things I listed. Their setting, the themes that they have to learn, and just all this stuff, focusing them on their main goal, making them grow. The difference between every single character, basically, that we meet in season 1 and them in season 3 is just mind-blowing. Seeing characters who were at the beginning very, like, childish because they're kids, and watching that as an older person can be very grating at first because you're looking and you're like, they're so immature. Why is Katara being so whiny and bossy? Well, because she's a 14-year-old girl. 14-year-old girls do stuff like that. It was so extremely real and amazing, and it wasn't always fun to watch. Seeing Aang, who's just a goofy kid at the beginning, and seeing him grow so much through the seasons. Oh my word. And my favorite character arc is Zuko. not going to spoil anything because his is a very impressive one. I'm just amazed by how they pulled off his character arc and how he develops too. And it's so expected because these are children going through extreme circumstances. They're having to face crazy things, and seeing them grow up so fast but so effectively, seeing Katara turn, well, I guess I don't want to give anything away. Anyway, just seeing them grow up and being so amazing and so beautiful. And I'm in love with every single character. Zuko, Iroh, the core three, Suki, just seeing them all growing up and learning to do these incredible things. And bending definitely works its way into there. That's not something I listed because I tried to make these all pretty broad, but seeing Aang have to master bending and all the things that come along with that, seeing all, like, and also it does this thing where it makes you kind of root for your antagonist. Like, there are layers of antagonists, and it makes you root, like, it just switches it up so much, and it makes you feel for these characters so hard. And when I was, like, yelling and being so frustrated at the TV because bad things were happening to my characters, even the animal characters, like, I don't normally care about animals in stories, but Appa and Momo became so important to me. And when something bad happened to Appa, I hurt so badly. Like, I felt so badly, and I wanted him to be okay because I cared so much about this character that had no lines. And just the ability to make me feel so many things for even the bad characters was just, it's so powerful. Another noteworthy thing about these characters is how they relate to one another. Toph, for instance, starts out very independent, and she honestly remains as such for all of the show, that you get to see her interact with Team Avatar, who are all so tight-knit and dependent on one another, and seeing them have to overcome challenges and work as a team despite their differences is absolutely masterful. Also, seeing these characters lose what they think gives them worth, value, and power, and seeing them realize that they didn't really need those things in the first place to win. Seeing them, or seeing tiny tidbits planted at the beginning as far as these team members' motivation, character, what they value the most, seeing that pay off hugely at the end of the show. It's just so masterful and so thought through, and I love it so much. And like this, I'm gonna wrap this up because I could go on and on about how amazing these characters were. But Avatar The Last Airbender just captured my heart, mostly through its characters, but also through its setting, how beautiful it was, how like much it taught me and how much it made me think, and just it was amazing. And like, not even for a kid's show, for a show, but for a kid's show it was impressive. And the only turnoffs I would say is it is a kid's show. It has some dumb jokes. It has some inconvenient things that occur. But so Avatar is my new favorite show. It has all the elements to an amazing story. It has so many amazing character arcs. It is such an amazing plot, and it just captured my heart, and it made me love it so much. I just watched the show. The first season isn't as great, but the second and third season are absolutely stunning, and the first season is still great. It just isn't as good as the last two. And it also contains our characters when they're at their worst, basically. And seeing them grow up was just incredible and amazing and beautiful. And actions had consequences in this show. Kids grew up and they had to change. They had to face their insecurities and the things that made them bad at what they were doing. They had to learn to be together as a team and just everything. I love all these characters. I love the whole show. And if you have not watched the show or given it a chance, at least watch the first season and tell me what you think about it. If you are an Avatar fan, be sure to like comment in the section down below and tell me about your favorite part of it. Please keep it spoiler free. Also, which type of bender are you? I think I'm definitely a firebender, but I would love to hear what you guys are. And thank you so much for watching. Please watch Avatar, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Depends on when I post this video. I'll see you Saturday. All right. Goodbye, everyone.